It's a cold but sunny Saturday in Providence where it is Parents' Weekend. The Scarlet Knights and Friars are next. It's a brief but intriguing series. One team won the first 4 meetings. The other ones won the last 4. This afternoon from the Providence Civic Center, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights meet the Providence Friars. Hello, everyone. I'm Bob Nicosi along with Ron Perry, and welcome to another Saturday afternoon of Big East basketball. It's been a rough 2 weeks for Rutgers. The Scarlet Knights have lost 4 of their last 5. But, Ron, if you want to beat this team, you have to figure out a way to keep up with the Joneses, or at least one of them.
That's exactly right. Dante Jones has become the go-to guy for Rutgers. The sophomore is leading the team in scoring and quickly becoming a real force in the league. He can shoot it from three-point land. Dynamite on the break. He can really get up. And Providence is going to have to find a way to defend him as he penetrates in this one because he can fill it up.
Providence has lost 9 in a row, its longest losing streak in 51 years. But don't blame the Friars' best player. He's been performing to the max.
He really has all year long, and that's Aaron Maxey. He's the forward that can really get it done for Providence, leading the team in scoring, second in rebounding, and the most consistent performer from the field, shooting 50%. Got to be involved and must stay out of foul trouble in this one.
These two teams met exactly a month ago tonight in New Jersey. Providence center Kareem Shabazz was held scoreless that night. Think the big guy would like to make up for it today? The starting lineups are next. Welcome back to the Providence Civic Center, the 9th meeting between Rutgers and Providence. Let's check out the starting lineups. First with the visiting Scarlet Knights. Freshman guard Todd Billett is 4th in the Big East in 3-point field goals, although he was just 1 for 8 from behind the arc in a Wednesday overtime loss to Seton Hall. And for the hometown Friars, freshman Abdul Mills will get his 9th start of the season at point guard. He's one of 4 different players to start at the point this year for Providence. Now let's take a look at the Dodge keys to the game. Ron, what does Rutgers have to do to be successful today?
Well, first of all, we call it amnesia. They've got to forget about the tough loss they just took in overtime to Seton Hall, and they've got to get good work done in the paint area. Get it inside early and often in this game to Kent and company and make it happen. And for Providence, take care of the basketball, averaging almost 20 turnovers a game, and make the shots. They're at the bottom of the league in terms of scoring per game. They've got to get it done today at home and try to get this one and snap that losing streak.
It'll be Eugene Dabney at 6'11", jumping center for Providence against Kareem Shabazz, 7'2", for the Friars. Reggie Greenwood will throw the ball up. He's working the game today with Bob Donato and Tony Green. And we're underway from the Providence Civic Center. Rutgers on the year 4-6 in the Big East. The Friars are 1-9. Greer cuts down the lane, puts up the runner, and the rebound is pulled down by Aaron Maxey. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Right side, Ramil Augustin. This is Mills up top. Left side, Maxey goes down low to Shabazz, spins on Dabney, and he's already scored 2 more than he did in their first meeting.
Now that's important in this game. As important as it is for Rutgers to do well in the paint, Providence also needs some production inside from their big guy. Beautiful spin move right here around Dabney. He gave him the baseline. That was the key, Bob. And Shabazz able to finish up. He had the flu in that first game, didn't score, but he played 30 minutes, so good defense in the first one by Rutgers.
Shabazz missed all 5 free throw attempts in the first meeting with Rutgers and misses the first one this afternoon.
Both clubs opening up. Tough man-to-man defense. They both get after it.
And Mills knocks it loose from Billett. Now right side, Greer. Billett in front of Mills. Good look inside to Dabney.
Nice job by Billett. The more he can dribble penetrate like that as Mills gamble, the better for the Rutgers offense.
Right side, Providence comes right back. Augustin can't get it to drop. Here's Billett looking for something in transition. On the left, Jones. Reversal to Greer. Wide open 3.
Very important. I love that skip pass by Jones over to Greer. And again, this is a perimeter-oriented Rutgers team. They've got to try to fill it up from that distance today.
41st three-pointer of the season for Greer. He's 12th in the Big East in that category. Down low, Shabazz is doubled. Gets it back outside to Rogers. On the left, Augustin for 3. Gets his own rebound. Gives to Maxey. This is a 2. Rebound in the lane, pulled down by Billett.
You see Bannon's strategy. Double Shabazz, make Providence shoot from the perimeter. Worked well that time.
Billett, a freshman from Middletown, New Jersey, wears the same number as his older brother Jeff wore during the previous 4 seasons at Rutgers. Up high, it's Rashad Kent. And on the handoff, Mills takes it away. Can Billett cut the angle? No. So a couple of points for Mills, the freshman from Brooklyn.
And that allows Providence to set up their full court pressure. Where Providence has struggled shooting from the outside, if they can get some transition hoops like that, they'll be in good shape this afternoon.
The full court pressure employed by the Friars. Jones throws it up. No good. One-handed tap by Kent, no good. And rebound by Shabazz.
The coaches say, come down with that ball with 2 and power it back up.
Oh! It's Mills to Augustin. He caught that with 2 hands.
Well, I love it when that alley-oop works. That's a timing play, and when it works, it looks easy, but that's a real timing play, inside out.
And a traveling violation is called on the Knights. This is the 12th different starting lineup that Tim Welsh has employed this year, and he's using 2 point guards on the floor at the same time, Mills and Rogers.
Well, he's clearly been struggling for the right combinations. John Linehan looks like he's out for this one, Bob, and the rest of the season perhaps with the tough groin injuries.
Shabazz missing the running one-hander. Rebound last touch by the Friars. Played nearly 3 minutes. And it's a 1-point Providence lead. First substitution of the afternoon. Jamal Kama will replace Mills for Providence. Kama, a 6'4" junior from Salem, Massachusetts. So now Rogers will switch to the point with Mills out. Kama will get the defensive assignment on Jones, who is certainly the toughest player on the Rutgers team to defend.
No question about it. He's a guy that Providence doesn't want to see him get off today. He can really fill it out.
Rutgers coming off an agonizing overtime loss at home to Seton Hall on Wednesday. Billett comes around the screen, takes the handoff, and fires.
Nice job there by the freshman. And, you know, when you hit a first shot like that, boy, it really builds confidence when you're a younger player.
Billett shooting only 36% from the floor this year. The quick shot by Shabazz, no good. And Maxey working hard for the rebound. And he'll draw the second foul of the ballgame on Rutgers.
Good work inside by Maxey. He's the team's number 2 rebounder along with Shabazz. Shabazz drawing the crowd. Important for Providence to get some of those second looks today.
So at the free throw line will go Maxey, the 6'6" junior from Lake Elsinore High School in Lake Elsinore, California. He has scored in double figures in 20 of the Friars' first 23 games, including the last 8.
It's been another area, though, Bob, where the Friars have struggled this year, shooting just 62% from the charity stripe.
And that's actually up because they've shot 69% in their last 5 games. At one point, they were shooting only 59% earlier in the Big East season.
Very difficult to win games when you're not converting. You get into the one-on-one situation. You got to get some of those free throws to go down for you.
Around the pick comes Jones. Aaron passed by Greer, who then runs it down anyway. Up top, Billett. Ball fake, fires over Rogers. So Billett hits his last 2 jumpers.
Billett, of course, can get hot. He had a 31-point game this year at home.
Someone fell asleep at the defensive end for Rutgers. You can't be leaving their best player unguarded. First 2 points of the afternoon for Maxey. Jones goes down low, knocked loose, then picked up inside for the jam by Daphne.
Good look by Kent. He got it over there. It wasn't pretty, but it was good interior passing. And we talked about paint production for Rutgers. They've got a couple so far in this one.
So Dabney with 4 this afternoon has matched his point total on Wednesday night against Seton Hall. Kama with the pull-up in the lane. Gets the roll.
You know, you love that one at home when you can get that nice roll in. Friendly rim that time.
Rutgers making a concerted effort to push the ball up the floor quickly, even after made baskets. And we're going to get a foul away from the ball. And it's going to be called on Shabazz, his first. We'll also get our first official timeout of the afternoon. 15:08 to go in the first half. Aaron Maxey and the Friars trailing Rutgers by 1. It's Rutgers by 1, nearly 5 minutes into the game. Glad you could join us on this Saturday afternoon here at the Providence Civic Center. It's been a long season for the Friars. They are 8-15, and a big reason it's been so long is because that young man, John Linehan, has not been in uniform very much, missing his 18th game of the season. Ron, as you mentioned, he likely won't play again this year, and frankly, it has been a disaster for Providence without him.
Well, he's experienced. He's a junior. You've got a lot of young players in the backcourt for Tim Welsh. The floor general, you take that equation out and you can really struggle, and Linehan's presence dearly missed out there for the Friars.
He led the Big East in steals a year ago. Joel Salvi has checked in for Rutgers. Number 3 had a terrific game in defeat on Wednesday night against Seton Hall.
Yeah, he provides a real spark for Rutgers inside. That's out of bounds right there.
It's out of bounds by a lot.
I was looking to see if Greer's heel might hit, but his whole right foot was out of bounds on that cross-court pass.
David Murray has checked in for the Friars, number 40, a 6'9" junior college transfer from New York City. Mills back in at the point, replacing Rogers. Tries to dribble past Billett, can't. Also Marcus Jefferson, number 32, in for Providence.
It's the right idea for Mills. You want your point guard looking to penetrate off the dribble and try to create, especially against the man defense.
Maxey shoots over Salvi. 4 points for the Friars' leading scorer. He also leads the team in rebounding. Total rebounds, that is. Shabazz leads in rebounds per game because Shabazz joined the team 8 games into the season. This is Greer. As Providence tries to make Rutgers set up a little bit further away than they'd like.
Doing a good job right now. Rutgers looks a little confused out of this half-court man set. Tough man pressure.
Jones dribbles right past Jefferson, but there's Maxey as the eraser. And Maxey at the other end with his 5th and 6th points of the afternoon.
Gotta love the way Maxey came right up there, Bob, aggressively looking for the shot and made Rutgers pay the price. He did it at both ends that time.
Yeah, he aggressively looked for the shot at the defensive end, too, and he found it, didn't he?
Well, he's all over the place. As we said at the beginning, too, he can get a little overly aggressive at times. Important that he stays in this one. Might have gotten away with a little body contact there on Jones, but great hustle by Maxey. You love to see the guy who makes that play, Bob, finish at the other end, which is what Maxey did.
Maxey has just picked up his first foul of the afternoon. And 2 on the Friars, and Maxey will also get his first rest. Llewellyn Cole has checked in for the Friars. Salvi nearly threw it away. Rutgers has thrown some sort of perils of Pauline-like passes in the forecourt, haven't they?
They really have. A couple of dangerous loft passes. But Kama got away with one there. He was almost bear-hugging Billett from behind last time.
Shot clock at 10. Jones for 3. Long rebound pulled down by Jefferson. Providence with the ball up 3.
Rutgers seems a little flat early in this one, Bob. They're coming off a stunning defeat at home, trying to regroup, and so far in this one, Providence kind of in control of the tempo, breaking when they have it and setting up when they don't.
Kama tries to beat Billett off the dribble, and Billett rejects the shot. Right back to Kama, and he gets it to go.
Well, that's the way to stay with the play and finish it off.
4 points off the bench for Kama. Jones comes right back and is fouled by Murray. That will be number 1 on him and 3 on the Friars.
Friar fouls on David Murray, his first, team third.
Rutgers has really struggled on the road throughout its 5-year existence in the Big East. Just 7-33 on the road in conference games since joining the conference. 1-3 on the road this year in the Big East. That win coming 10 days ago at Boston College.
It's a very important game for both teams. You've got a Providence club that's lost 9 in a row. They're at home. They've got to go on the road after this, Bob. And Rutgers having lost 4 of 5 with Albany and then Villanova coming up. You know, this is a game both clubs really feel they've got to get, and they feel they can get here today.
Well, at halftime, Ron and I will go over not only the Big East standings, but take a look at the postseason scenario at this point for the teams in the Big East. How the 5 teams at the top of the conference seem to be in excellent shape. The problem with Rutgers is, you know, they're 12-10, 4-6 in the league. they'd pretty much have to run the table because there's so many teams in the Big East ahead of them that at this point at least would certainly receive consideration ahead of the Scarlet Knights for the NCAA tournament.
I think you're right. I think they've got to play solidly for NIT play, and they've got to really get on a tremendous roll for the NCAA, and you've got to start now if you want to do it.
Went to the NIT a year ago and lost in the second round to Clemson. Down low Murray, little jump hook with the left hand, no good. The rebound pulled down by Dabney. And Renardo Brown is in at the point for Rutgers, number 30, a junior college transfer from Michigan. Jefferson with the steal, comes down the floor and draws the foul. Should be on Greer. That will be number 1 on Greer and number 3 on Rutgers.
We talked at the beginning about Providence needing to take good care of the basketball. They've been prone to the turnover, but early in this one, Rutgers with a couple of turnovers, and Providence playing good defense and running out and breaking off of that D. That's important for them.
Jefferson, also a young man who has battled injuries this year, missed 8 games with a stress fracture, so this is his 16th game of the season. He did not play a month ago when these two teams met down in New Jersey.
Tim Welsh substituting early and often in this one. He will shuffle players, play about 10 players today, and they're all quick and versatile and get after you defensively.
Well, he likes to play that 94-foot game, and the only way you can do that is to give everyone a rest frequently. The turnover story certainly in Providence's favor in the early going. Dabney sets the high screen. Greer goes around it, then finds Salvi down low, and Salvi dribbles further away from the basket and takes the shot. That's not the idea.
Got to catch and be ready. Don't be surprised by it. He should have gone right up. Tough man again. Oh, nice back door.
Great backdoor cut. Dabney to Jones.
Gonna love that high-low. That is fundamental basketball. The overplay on the wing, and Rutgers takes advantage.
4 points for Jones, the 7th leading scorer in the Big East this season. Mills looks for Cole down low, can't find it. Now crossover dribble, terrific move by Abdul Mills.
Wow, where'd that one come from? Great finish off the penetration by the point guard.
Mills entering the ballgame had scored 26 points in his last 3 games. Doesn't seem like a lot, but he had only 16 in the 6 previous games. So he has more than doubled his production the last 3 games.
Obviously picking up his confidence. The left-hander, just a freshman, feeling better out there.
Jones starts to go. Plenty of traffic there, and a blocking foul will be called on the Friars. That will be number 4 on Providence. Augustin picks up his first personal, and we have a timeout. 10:46 to go, and Providence leads Rutgers by 4. Providence trying to snap a 9-game losing streak with an early 4-point lead. Sometimes, Ron, it works just the way you diagram it, huh?
It really does. Rutgers has tried this a couple of times. The bounce pass beautiful to the high post man, and then Jones with that backdoor cut. You saw that from the defensive perspective. Overplay on the wing, nice bounce passing, and I love fundamentals, Bob. When that pass goes down, it's awfully tough to steal. Great job by Rutgers that time.
First pass thrown by that young man, Renardo Brown. Transfer from Michigan. Villa to inbound as he returns to the lineup for Rutgers, and Providence sets up in a zone as Rutgers inbounds beneath its own hoop.
A lot of times you do that on the inbounds play to protect against picking under the basket, which would allow an easy basket. Providence right now, 2-3 zone, looking to trap.
Baz back in the lineup. Nice feed inside from Luis Flores to Dabney.
Beautiful penetration that time, splitting the top. And I'll tell you, a couple of times Rutgers has done that, and they've turned up layups.
6 points for Dabney, and at the other end, the hold will be called on Flores, who just checked into the lineup. Flores is a freshman from Washington Heights, New York. The ball was in his hands. Final seconds on Wednesday night against Seton Hall. He had a wide open look for what would have been a game-winning 3 for Kevin Bannon's team, but it did not fall.
At least he stepped in and took it. That was such a seesaw battle. Unfortunately for Rutgers, not good results at the end.
This is Maxey. Long rebound as comes to build on a hop. Everyone was boxing out. No one went for the ball. Salvi finds Flores inside, and he's called for traveling.
Sometimes you make that up fake in traffic and pull your pivot foot, which is what happened on that one.
Jefferson departs for the Friars as Kama returns. The last time Providence lost 9 in a row was in the 1948-49 season when the Friars lost a school record 12 straight. 51 years ago. Rogers with the pull-up.
Well, you can tell in this game, I don't know if Providence is playing a little freer and easier. They're playing tough D, but they seem more relaxed, getting more high-quality shots, and they're delivering them so far in this first half.
Jones defended by the big fellow Shabazz. There's an interesting deployment there. Now they switch back. Shabazz back to Dabney. Salvi with the turnaround from the foul line, no good, and Dabney with the rebound.
Dabney's
very active.
I was going to say, he's been a presence.
Salvi starts the drive and uses the glass. Salvi came off the bench to score 9 points. He had 9 rebounds. He had 3 steals. He had a career-high 3 blocked shots, a career-high 5 assists in a heroic effort in defeat against Seton Hall the other night. Providence 10 for 18 from the floor in the early going.
Said they had to make some shots, Bob. They're really delivering so far.
Kama misses the shot. Shabazz with the one-hand rebound. 4 points for the transfer from Florida State. So here's a Providence club that's shooting only 40% on the year. And now 11 for 20, 55% first half. What happened there? Flores all alone. Shabazz says, get that out of here. Comes back to Flores for the 3, and on the weak side, Salvi will be called for an over-the-top foul on the rebound, his first.
And there's some wild action on this one. Boy, the seas really parted on this drive. Flores saying, man, I got an easy one, but when you've got the 7-2 man back there to help you out, that's exactly what happened. As Shabazz said, hey, get that layup out of here. I'm sending it back.
His team leading 40th rebound block shot of the season. Providence entered the ballgame with 113 blocked shots on the year, and they had only 65 last year. Away from the play, a foul will be called on the Friars.
Looks like Kama, he just got carried away with the weak side screen, and he got his arms and elbows up. It's a good call.
Number 1 on Kama. And Providence, like Rutgers now with 5 team fouls. Turnover number 1 for the Friars. How about that, Ron? They went 12 minutes without a turnover.
Taking great care of the ball. We said it was important, but Billett continues to be hot for Rutgers.
Billett already has the 7th best career 3-point shooting percentage in Rutgers history, and he's just a freshman. 7 points today. Down low at Shabazz, quickly doubled, gives the Kama, kick out Rogers for 3. Follows up his own miss and chases down the rebound.
Long shots can mean long rebounds. You got to go get them if you're a guard.
So as Maxey puts it on the floor, he draws a foul. It will be number 2 on Greer. Timeout, 7:31 to go in the half. Providence leads by 1. This former University of Connecticut star is the all-time leading scorer for the Huskies. Sitko asks, do you know me? Welcome back to Providence, where the Friars have a 1-point lead over Rutgers with 7:30 to go in the half. Time now for Do You Know Me? Brought to you by Sitko. You know a neighbor when you see one. Do you know me? The answer is Chris Smith, the leading scorer in UConn history. 2,145 points, and Ron Jim Calhoun will tell you that Chris Smith was the most important recruit he ever had. The best player in Connecticut, convincing people that it was okay to stay at home at UConn, and he was there for that first Big East championship team in 1990, and things turned around rather dramatically after that.
Yeah, he really did become a catalyst, didn't he, for the Husky program, recruiting-wise, and also just getting things going on a tremendous run as you look at the 90s. Phenomenal for UConn.
Providence has trouble inbounding, so they call a timeout. We'll step aside. It's the Friars by 1. Back at the Providence Civic Center, 7:31 to go first half. Rutgers, losers of 4 of its last 5, trailing Providence by 1. The shooting story in the early going. And Ron, this is a Providence team which on the year, is next to last in the Big East in shooting, but off to a red-hot start today.
They really are. They're shooting it well at 50% so far, along with Rutgers. So they're both doing it up pretty well.
Augustin with the miss, but he follows his miss, and on his second attempt draws the foul. That's team foul number 7 on Rutgers. And Augustin, the freshman from Montreal, will go to the free throw line following personal foul number 2 on Luis Flores.
Providence also doing a good job at home today to get themselves some second chances. And that's another key ingredient if they want to snap this losing streak. As you see Augustin's numbers, he's another young player who's really been coming along for Tim Welch, just a freshman.
Rutgers Providence was just 3 for 11 from the line in the second half in that loss at Rutgers a month ago. The other night against St. John's in the Friars' last game, they only attempted 5 free throws in the game. In fact, Ron, on the year, Providence entering the ball game had attempted 198 fewer free throws than their opponents, and it's awfully tough to win that way.
No question about it. And that's an indication that they have just struggled to consistently get it inside and power it to the goal, settling more for perimeter shots that haven't gone down, as you see the difference from the foul line that you just mentioned.
Rutgers, conversely, has attempted 119 more than the opposition. The foul on Mills was his first, 6 on Providence.
They've got to get Kent more involved on that note. He's a real wide body, number 44 inside, being covered by Shabazz. Need to get him involved in this offense.
Yeah, they sure do. He's shooting 72% from the floor in Big East games. Jones, the head fake, then Shabazz blocks it flat-footed. Ahead of the field to Kama, tries to beat Bill, and it does. Well, we said at the beginning, Shabazz has been stewing for a month trying to make up for what happened, what he did not accomplish against Rutgers down in New Jersey, and he sure is off to a terrific start today at both ends of the floor.
Now, he really started that one off, and Providence again with the break, finishing off.
Mills falls down, then Flores goes inside to Dabney. Who touched it last? Let's see.
I think it was off of Providence, but we'll see. There's a little conference going on.
Tony Green comes up to Bob Donato, and the answer is Providence ball.
Rutgers. Flores went up that time. You always tell your backcourt people, don't leave your feet thinking pass, otherwise there's nowhere else to go with it, and he did just that and threw it away.
So it's a 5-point Providence lead. This is the final game of 3 in a row at home for the Friars. They won't be back home again until 2 weeks from today against Boston College. Flores steps inside and knocks the pass out of bounds. 18 seconds left on the shot clock for Providence.
Picking up on that same thought, you can go up as a jump shooter looking for your shot, have it close off, find a man open, and then adjust. Can't do it the other way.
In other words, leave your feet, but then decide to pass?
Yeah. But
how many times did you do that in your career?
Oh, every once in a while. Things closed off. Usually we stayed with the shot.
You can count on one hand the number of times I've had. Kent with the steal. He's 10th in the Big East in that department. This is Billett. Gives to Dabney. Down low. Backing his way in is Jones. Kick out to Dabney. He won't shoot from there. Jones tries the baseline, instead back out to Dabney.
Good defense by the Friars. They're helping out well, playing team defense.
Now this is Billett who gets loose behind that Dabney screen. How did that not go in?
Halfway down.
Here comes Providence. Kama in the lane. Down low, Augustin. Head fake. Good strip by Flores. Quick hands. Flores, kick out on the left to Jones. Fires. Rebound off the hands of Augustin to Kama. Now Rutgers gets back quickly. Let's see what Kama does. Billett called for the block. And that will send the Friars to the free throw line. For Billett, his first foul, and 8 on the Scarlet Knights. Let's take a look at some other scores brought to you by ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. 12th ranked UConn up 7 first half at Notre Dame. The Irish beat the Huskies in Hartford earlier this year. Penn State with an early lead at 6th ranked Ohio State. The Buckeyes coming off a stunning loss the other night to Iowa, losing at the buzzer on a Kyle Galloway three.
Great matchups in both conferences. That's a big game for UConn as well as Notre Dame. UConn on the road with the early lead in that one. Should be a good one.
after this afternoon's game. UConn will visit Seton Hall on Monday. Pirates with an outstanding chance of cracking the top 25 when the new poll comes out tomorrow, following a big week which began with a win at Syracuse last Monday. Dabney uses the glass.
Dabney's had a very solid first half, known for his shot blocking and defensive abilities, but he's been very effective out there.
4 for 4 from the floor for 8 points. Providence still up 3. Mills finds Kama. On the left, Murray. Kent gives him room. Pass down low is picked off by Dabney. Turnover number 4 for the Friars.
That was a zone by Rutgers that time.
Flores pull up. Uses the glass. Sam Jones on that one, huh?
Yeah, confident. Providence looks much more hesitant, Bob, on their half-court set. When they're quick, they push it. They seem more instinctive. They're much more careful and tentative. They're going against the zone right now. They've got to look to split that defense like that and penetrate.
Mills and the foul. The second spectacular move by the freshman from Brooklyn.
Well, you know what's nice there is you've got the zone, you reverse the ball, and then you look to penetrate, as I was saying, and then good things can happen. This time all the way for Mills. That was a great move. It looks like Dabney caught him with the body on the way in.
Second foul on Dabney, 9 on the Scarlet Knights. Salvi will return for Rutgers, replacing Dabney. And at the free throw line will go Abdul Mills out of Martin Luther King High School in New York City. Also spent a year at Milford Academy in Connecticut. Completes the three-point play. So he's got 6 points. Timeout. Providence up 4. Welcome back to Providence, where the Friars are looking for their first win in 38 days. We invite you to join us on Saturday, February 19th on your Big East Basketball Network as the Boston College Eagles hit the road with sensational freshman Troy Bell. They'll meet Marcus Gorey and the West Virginia Mountaineers, their only meeting of the year. Boston College at West Virginia, Saturday, February 19th at noon Eastern. Brought to you from ESPN+. Check your local listings. Mr. Perry, you're going to be making the trip to Wheeling, West Virginia for that one, I understand.
You got it. Making the trip to Mountaineer Land. Boston College Eagles should be a good matchup.
West Virginia, of course, this year playing all of their games out of Morgantown because of an asbestos problem at the West Virginia University Coliseum. They're playing 8 home games in Charleston, 6 more in Wheeling. Entry pass knocked away by the Friars. 9 seconds left in the shot clock for Rutgers. And Tim Welsh's club has done a great job of keeping the ball out of the hands of Rashad Kent.
That was an attempt right there, but the fronting has really worked well. He's 6'6", so the Friar height has helped.
Inbound comes to Kent, gives to Flores, who wasn't even looking, but he hits the shot anyway. He's got 4.
He looks good out there, too. Flores playing with more and more confidence for Kevin Bannon, and he's got a very young backcourt on the floor right now.
The lead is down to 2 for the Friars. It's the 9th time these two teams have met. Spin down low, Murray. Rebound, Maxey. Head fake goes up and draws the foul. Great thinking there.
Now that's
instead of going right back up, he came down, and by going up the second time, he drew the foul.
Yeah, that's where the experience helps, Bob. You catch it, you're strong, and Maxey has logged a lot of minutes for the Friars, knew just what to do, got himself to the line.
Foul on Kent, his first, and that's 10 on the Knights. Maxey has had 5 double-doubles this year, and 10 in his career. In the first meeting with Rutgers a month ago, had 14 points and 8 rebounds. That was a strange game. Rutgers outscored the Friars down the stretch 21-11 to win it by 10. Providence was in the game all the way and then just came apart at the seams.
Well, they've been prone to droughts this year scoring-wise. They've gone minutes where they just can't get the ball down. Their balance and their intensity and their finishing off ability has been very good in this one so far this afternoon.
8 points for Maxey. Shabazz returns. Friars. And Salvi touched it last.
He stepped on that side out of bounds on his pivot move. He's saying, I think I was helped a little bit while that was going on, but nevertheless, Friar ball.
Up 4, Providence to inbound. Jefferson to do the honors. Rutgers does not guard the inbound passer. Mills calls for the play with the left hand. Let's see what they'll run. They spread the floor.
Man-to-man by Rutgers. This is Providence been a little bit more tentative.
Pass inside Shabazz.
Now the key there is you get it that close to your 7-2 man. Good things are going to happen.
And Kevin Bannon wants to talk things over as Providence has opened up a 6-point lead with 2.5 remaining in the first half. Shabazz is 3 for 5 from the floor.
Yeah, they've done a good job on occasion to get it to him. That's what prompted Kevin Bannon to call a timeout. He's saying, hey, we can't let this happen. Kent at 6'6" can muscle him. He gambles there, though. You've got to gamble on the other side of him, though, force him away from the hoop. If you miss, that time Shabazz able to just go in toward the hoop and lay it down. He's got a big height advantage on Kent, 8 inches, so they found him that time. See his difference today, huh?
It's the nightmare that Shabazz had down at Rutgers on January 12th. I talked to Tim Welsh yesterday and asked him, how do you think Shabazz is playing? He joined the team at the end of the first semester. Because he was a transfer, he said, I think he's playing fine. It's tough to operate when you have 3 guys around you. We have to take some pressure off by making some open shots.
Now, the Friars have done that today, and that's why he does have some open seams inside. You've got to pull the defense out by getting respect from the perimeter.
Largest lead of the afternoon for the Providence now at 6. Billett comes around the screen. Nice head fake. Flores with a nice ball fake, but Shabazz gets a piece of it anyway.
Now, that was just good hustle and skipping defense by Providence.
Mills leaves for Jefferson for 3. Rebound Salvi. He's the second leading rebounder on Rutgers, even though he comes off the bench. Left side Jones, and as he goes, Mills will be called for the hold. That will be his second. And number 7 on the Friars, so the Scarlet Knights will go to the line to shoot some free throws.
Providence has done an excellent job in this first half, really denying Jones the ball, not giving him a lot of touches in places where he can score. And Jones is the leading scorer for Rutgers with just 4 points in the first half.
Jones had a 10 for 10 afternoon from the line at Georgetown last month. He is 12th in the Big East in free throw shooting percentage, but misses the front end of the 1-and-1. On the left, Jefferson. Great screen set by Maxey, but Jefferson misses the shot. And we're going to get a technical foul call on Dante Jones by Bob Donato. Never a good time for a technical, but it's even worse when you have the basketball.
Yeah, he was right in front of the official. Let's see what happens here. You can see the shot go up. Jefferson right in front, taps him a little with his shoulder right there, and then comes around with the swing, and that's where Bob Donato made the call.
So the technical on Jones will also count as a personal, his second. So that means Providence will shoot 2 free throws plus get the ball. And as we mentioned, that hurts even more when you had the ball to begin with. You meaning Rutgers.
I don't know what, if anything, was said out there. Jefferson was right in Jones's face. He may have taunted him a little bit, but you can't, swing your arms at all, and that's what happened right there.
So Jamal Kama will shoot the free throws. He's a 69.4% free throw shooter on the year. Believe it or not, he leads the team in that department.
There's the elbow right there. That really shouldn't happen at all. And then
Jefferson said something to him.
Yeah, well, that's where he took, I think, the elbow to the nose. Then he had something to say, and that's when Jones reached around with the left arm, kind of flailed it, and picked up the technical. This could be a big opportunity for Providence. The free throws and then the basketball out of bounds.
So Kama at the free throw line. Junior from Salem, Massachusetts. Began his high school career in his hometown at Salem High School, then also played at Milford Academy in Connecticut and at Notre Dame Academy back home in Massachusetts. Now Providence will inbound directly in front of us. The lead is 7 with 1:43 to go. 7 points for Kama.
Excellent balance and bench production by Providence in this first half. We'll see if they can make a 3-point play out of this technical. They got the free throw. See if they can convert now with the ball. Get maybe Shabazz involved in this offense again.
Kama looking for Jefferson down low. Can't get it to him. Up high Maxey. Lob inside to Shabazz. Spin. Shoots over Kent. Boy, Kent made that a tough shot, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was really leaning on Shabazz. Used his strength.
Coming up at halftime of the National Car Rental Halftime Report, we will take a look at the Big East Wire and analyze the postseason chances for the teams in the conference. Check on the out-of-town scoreboards, plus the first half recap of this one. All coming up on the National Car Rental Halftime Report in just a couple of moments. A minute 13 to go in the half. Jones comes up in the forecourt and will draw the foul on Kama. That will be his second and 8 on the Friars. And back to the line will go the 6'5" sophomore from Hamilton Township, New Jersey. Went to Steinert High School.
He's really emerging into the one of the more exciting players in the Big East Conference. Jones is quick. He's versatile. One of the keys in this game is Providence really hasn't allowed Rutgers to get out and run much because Providence has shot it well. And Jones hasn't really gotten out to break, and he's cold now shooting it.
This is the front end of the 1-on-1 again as we arrive at the 1-minute mark. Mark Jarrell Wright from Rutgers' backyard in Newark. The ball game for the Friars, number 55, went to St. Benedict's Prep. He's a freshman. Jefferson, right side Shabazz. Up top, Jefferson. Puts it on the floor. Doubled, taken away by Kent. This is Billett. Right side Jones. Pull up over Maxey. Gets his own rebound. Tries again. And I think this might be Shabazz with the foul. Let's see. Reggie Greenwood has. Instead, it will be Jefferson from the other side, which is good news for the Friars. Baz does not pick up the second. Instead, number 1 on Jefferson. Tim Welsh not overly fond of that call. Tim said, when you're as inconsistent as we've been, decisions on who starts depend on how you practiced the day before.
Now that lights a fire under everyone. They know they've got an opportunity to step up and play. On the other hand, difficult to get game in, game out consistent play when you're shuffling as much as Tim Welsh has had to.
Mills comes back in. They want him in for the last offensive possession of the half.
I think he's played well today. Mills has been solid with the ball. He got the start and seems to be getting more comfortable out there running the club.
In Mills' very first collegiate game, he had 13 points on opening night against Holy Cross, albeit in a disappointing loss to Mr. Perry's alma mater.
That was a game where Providence only scored, what, 43 points? They were really down in that one, so that was a lot of points in that one.
Providence has scored 60 or more points only 7 times in 23 games. Final 30 seconds. Shot clock on. Providence with the ball up 5. Let's see if they milk it all the way down so they don't give Rutgers a chance to get another shot at the other end. Renardo Brown in to play tough man-to-man defense on Mills for Rutgers.
Got to be careful.
Doing a good job.
Almost got a 5-second call there. You've got to penetrate. Oh, not a great foul by Kent.
Now on the switch, Kent at 6'6" wound up picking the much quicker Mills and is called for the foul with only 9 seconds left, and he commits the foul, what, 30 feet from the hoop?
Had to switch on that one. You don't want to have your 6'6" power forward / center out there covering the quick Abdul Mills. Still time, though, for Rutgers with 10 seconds to rebound and go down the court and have something positive happen offensively.
Second foul on Kent. Mills misses the first free throw. He is the second leading free throw shooter on the year for Providence, but as we mentioned, that's nothing to brag about. Only 68% from the line. And a pretty good illustration of how they struggle. So Rutgers will get another chance anyway. Billett, kick out, Brown from the left. This is rebound weak side Augustin, and that'll do it. So a solid first half by a Providence club that has not won since its Big East opener on January 5th. For what it's worth, the Friars are 8-1 this year when leading at the half. They've lost 9 in a row. We're halfway home at the Civic Center. Providence leads Rutgers 35-30. Back with the National Car Rental Halftime Report after this.
When do you first realize it? Is there a defining moment? A clear turning point? Some kind of sign? Do you choose it, or does it choose you? When do you know you're an athlete? When you win your first trophy? Or break a record? Or is it when the thought of losing keeps you awake at night? When do you know you're an athlete? When you can't stop playing.
It's a great name.
It is Providence 35, Rutgers 30 at halftime. Welcome back to the Providence Civic Center. Bob Nicosi along with Ron Perry. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. And Ron, when I spoke with Providence coach Tim Welsh yesterday, he kept mentioning we have to make some open shots to give us some confidence. Well, they did, and they're playing like a more confident team than they've been recently.
They are. They've played good, solid defense. They've come down and broken a little bit on the break, gotten a couple of nice transition hoops, shot it well, got good balance. So as a result, they've got themselves a halftime lead.
And they've defended Rashad Kent very well. They've held him to one shot in 20 minutes.
That was critical. I mean, they just didn't get the production in the paint that we thought Rutgers had to. Dabney was effective. Kent's got to get more involved in the second half for the Scarlet Knights to win this game.
Let's take a look at some first half highlights. And Kareem Shabazz was scoreless a month ago against this team, but has come up big in the first half.
He really did. He blocks this one. The 7'2" guy lets the defense put pressure on the perimeter. They know he's back there to help them out. He also passed effectively. He can see over the Rutgers front line with a nice dish there to Maxey. And he also was able to free himself up, although it was under duress at times against Kent, who weighs 265 pounds, and fought his way in there with some aggressive baskets. He had a very nice stat line with points, rebounds, passing, as well as block shots.
Let's take a look at the Buick first half stats. As we see Providence shooting 47% from the floor. That's 7% higher than what they've shot in their first 23 games.
Yeah, they did a good job, and they have the advantage in the paint, which we thought was critical in this one. And for Providence averaging just under 20 turnovers a game, just 5 in the first half, they'd have a bigger lead if they shot the free throws better. They were 7 for 15, so a solid effort by the Friars.
Biggest lead of the half was 7. Right now it's 5. 35-30 Providence at intermission. We'll be back with the second half from the Civic Center right after this message from AT&T. Back at the Providence Civic Center, where Providence is looking for its first win since winning its Big East opener against Georgetown on January 5th. This is the 9th meeting between these two teams. Providence won the first 4 meetings, and Rutgers has won the last 4, including one a month ago down in New Jersey. Kareem Shabazz, big first half.
Yeah, just good balance, huh? He scored, he rebounded, he blocked shots. He also dished it off a few times. So he was a real presence in the middle. Needs to keep it up in the second half for the Friars.
And what does Rutgers do, Ron, in an effort to get the ball into the hands of Rashad Kent? Here's a guy who's shooting 62% from the floor on the year and 72% in Big East games, and he took only 1 shot in 16 minutes of action.
Got to look for him. He was fronted for much of the first half. If that's the case, reverse the basketball and get it to him on the other side. And Kent's also got to make himself more of a presence off the offensive glass and go and get the ball as well.
It will be Providence ball to begin the second half. Chris Rogers to inbound directly in front of us. Rogers, Mills, Shabazz, Augustin, and Aaron Maxey on the floor for the Friars. Jones, Kent, Dabney, Greer, and Billett for Rutgers.
Rutgers opens up man-to-man. I wouldn't be surprised, Bob, they get back in this game to see them play some zone and force Providence more to the perimeter, but the man-to-man has allowed Providence to get some dribble penetration.
Maxey puts it on the floor, kick out to Augustin. He leaves for Maxey, who shoots over Billett. On the rebound, tipped by Kent into the hands of Maxey for his 9th and 10 points.
Now you'll take a good bounce any day. Nice steal by the Friars as well.
And Maxey misses the shot. That would have been a killer.
Not much of a shot either. You've got to get the ball, get a good one. Don't just throw it up there. Maxey lost his presence that time.
Looked like he was trying to draw the foul, didn't it?
Yeah, I think he just lost sight of where he was. Maybe thought there was some contact. We plowed Billett over defensively. Might have just gotten away with one.
Billett calls the play. Thumbs up with the right hand. Let's see what they run. Away from the play, a whistle. And we're going to get a holding call on the Friars. It will be number 2 on Shabazz. Number 1 on the Friars here in the second half.
Friars also not in foul difficulty. Shabazz and Maxey must stay on the floor for a lot of minutes in the second half. Got to play defense with their feet.
Jones just 1 of 7 from the floor in the first half.
Done a good job denying him. He just has not had the ball in a lot of good positions to score.
Billett, this is a 2, and great rebound position inside by Augustin. On the left, Mills for the pull-up. Abdul Mills with 9 points. Largest lead of the ball game now at 9 for the Friars.
And that allows Providence to put some pressure on. Mills having a very solid floor game at point for the Friars today.
Inside Kent, who has already matched his total from the first half with shot attempts by getting his first here in the second half.
Kevin Bannon must have had the same thought, looked at the box score and said, hey, you've got to get Kent involved with the game, get it to him early, as they did right there.
Down low, it's Shabazz, backs his way in. He's quickly doubled. Greer takes it away ahead to Billett, who will try to beat Rogers down the floor and draws the foul.
Not a good foul. If Rogers is going to foul there, don't allow the man to score. It was kind of a touch job. I think he was just trying to distract him, but he reached enough to give Billett a chance for the three-point play. You've got to go for the ball here and foul the man, not just touch him. And that's kind of an easy hoop for Billett and a chance for this three-pointer.
Billett with 9 points. He'll try to make it 10. Like his older brother Jeff was at Rutgers, Todd Billett, an outstanding free throw shooter, 83.3%. Older brother Jeff, by the way, is now a assistant coach at Monmouth College at 24. He's one of the youngest Division I assistant coaches in the country.
Well, you know, he was almost like a coach on the floor when he played for Kevin Bannon here at Rutgers, and really had a good presence out there, floor general type, so not surprised to see him in the coaching ranks.
And his brother's just like him, just an absolute basketball-aholic, loves the X's and O's. As Kevin Bannon says, he can't wait to get back to the dorm after practice in time to eat dinner and watch the doubleheader on ESPN.
Can't get enough of it. Eats it up.
This is Billett with the ball in his hands, tries to dribble past Mills. Greer up top. Todd Billett even wears the same number that Jeff wore the previous 4 years at Rutgers, number 22. That time the backdoor play wasn't there, and on the perimeter, Maxey will be called for the hold. That's his second foul. And already the Friars with 3 here in the second half.
Just terrific perimeter defense in this one by the Friars. They've got to limit their fouls, but Greer with just the 1-3 in the first half. Jones very quiet. Those guys have got to get more involved in this offense. Look to penetrate, make some shots happen.
This is Greer. He's been very quiet today. Only 3 points. Had a team-high 18 in the loss to Seton Hall Wednesday. Billett sets up the play. Down low, they beat Kent. And Kent draws the foul, but already Rutgers has twice in the first 3 minutes managed to get the ball inside to their best inside scorer.
He does struggle from the foul line, though, so probably not a bad idea by Providence to reach in on him, send him to the line if he's got the step on them inside, which he had right there.
The foul will be on Ramil Augustin. That's his second. And the Friars already with 4 team fouls here in the second half. Now, Kent is, just to put it simply, is a terrible free throw shooter, only 52%. Today's game is brought to you by Advanced Auto Parts. The best part is our people. Matter of fact, down the stretch in overtime Wednesday night against Seton Hall, with Rutgers up by 3 and still nearly 2 minutes to go, Seton Hall clearly fouled Kent intentionally. It wasn't called an intentional foul. They wanted to put him in the line, and he missed them both.
Well, you get yourself into a rut at the foul line, and mentally you're really questioning yourself, and that's where Kent is at right now from the strike.
Kent 52% from the line and 64% from the floor. Go figure. Down low, Shabazz. And Shabazz will be called for the foul using the elbow to create some space. That's number 3 on the big fella. And the Friars with 5 team fouls in the first 3:21 of the second half.
See, they played it much more cleanly in the first half, and suddenly, you know, there's a lot of pushing both ways, but finally Dabney gives way right there, and a lot of times the second guy gets caught up, and that's what happened right there to Shabazz.
Greer to bring it up the floor. Defended by Mills. David Murray in the lineup for Providence, replacing Shabazz, who leads with 3.
See, Providence is really trying to front Kent. They've got the taller Murray on him right now. You've got to alley-oop over him or reverse it and have him pin his man.
Millet, head fake, draws Kama off his feet, but misses the shot. Rebound, Maxey. Providence up 5, 4 minutes into the second half. Mills looks for Murray down low. Tries to back his way in. He's a lefty. Misses the shot, draws the foul. Number 3 on Dabney.
Pretty good.
And 1 on Rutgers this half run.
Pretty good job by Providence. Both teams right now are trying to balance it with some outside shooting and getting it inside. But clearly, both teams are trying to get their games going in the low post. Murray right off the bench. It's tough to shoot the ball right after you've been sitting for a while. We'll see how he feels from the line.
On the year, Murray just 60% from the line. Joel Salvi will replace Dabney for Rutgers. So the center for each club on the bench with 3 fouls. Murray spent 2 years at Mesa Community College in Arizona, where he is the career leader in rebounds and blocking shots. Makes the free throws. Timeout. And it's Providence up 7 over Rutgers. Back in Providence, where the Friars have a 7-point lead over Rutgers. Now let's take a look at the Volkswagen Big East leaders and a look at the 3-point shooting department.
You can see that Rutgers has the advantage today. Providence 0 for 3 from 3-point land, but they've been doing a good job inside.
UConn leading the league in 3-point field goals, and Providence dead last.
Yeah, UConn has been effective from that distance. Providence has struggled all year long shooting it, and that's another area where Tim Welsh knows his club has got to improve.
There's the 3-point shooting story today.
Now, once again, that's where Providence struggles, but they've done a good job inside to balance that.
Salvi, nice feed inside to Greer. Murray may have had a piece. Greer only with 3 points in the ballgame. Now, Greer and Jones, the 2 leading scorers for Rutgers on the year. Between them, they average 27 per game. Today, between them, only 9 points.
Been great perimeter defense by Providence. Providence has played good defense all year. Their problem's been scoring. Today, they've balanced the 2. Not surprised here. Kevin Bannon goes zone, and I wouldn't be surprised now if he stays with this, forcing Providence to make some outside shots.
Mills, down low Murray. Double, kick out Maxey. This is a 2. And Kama unchecked inside with the putback.
Now, you can play zone all day long, but you've got to box out, and that time Rutgers doesn't get it done.
Well, that's why a lot of coaches don't like to play zone. They just don't like the offensive rebounds it can yield. Mills whistled for a foul on the perimeter, and that will be his 3rd. And 6 on the Friars. So as we look at the points in the paint, Rutgers figures to get lots of opportunities from the free throw line down the stretch. Next foul for Providence, and Rutgers will be at the line. Billett gets the high screen from Kent. Now up high Salvi. Down low Kent. Murray fronted him, but Kent couldn't hang on.
It's a tough entry pass, though. It's a bullet pass coming from the foul line. You really want the entry pass to come from a better angle, such as the wing or corner.
So Mills departs with 3 fouls, replaced by Rogers. Rogers, Mills, and Kama have all had their turns starting at point guard because of the injury to Linehan. Augustin out top to Rogers. Providence with a 9-point lead. This equals the Friars' biggest lead of the ball game. Murray inside spins and draws the foul on Rashad Kent. That's number 3 on Kent. So Kent and Dabney, the 2 biggest players for the Scarlet Knights, both with 3 fouls, and Murray will go to the line.
Well, Rutgers is extending to the perimeter, opening things up inside, and Murray kind of stepping into the game, doing a nice job here. Shabazz had picked up his 3rd personal. Has had to sit for a few minutes here, and Murray, who's had some bright moments this year, is doing a good job filling in right now.
Perfect 4 for 4 from the line. Murray started last Tuesday against St. John's. Played only 10 minutes, turned it over 3 times, and didn't take a shot. Jones falls down, and then Maxey reaches in to create the held ball. possession arrow pointing toward the Scarlet Knights, who trail by 11.
This is Providence right now at their best, Bob. They're putting pressure on, they're scoring, using some of their athletic skills. And Rutgers, they're in danger right now. They've got to execute offensively and play some solid D.
Billett, outstanding ball handler, gets it across the 10-second line. Luis Flores back in for Rutgers. We saw plenty of him in the first half. Jones still sitting on 6 points. Salvi gets to the cutter Flores. He's doubled, finds the open man Billett. Shot clock running down low Kent.
That's a nice look inside by Billett. Kent getting more involved now, and for Rutgers, they've got to play some solid defense. They're back to the man-to-man. So that zone was just a brief look.
4 points for Kent. This is Murray wants to back in on Kent and does, and that's going to be foul number 4 on Rashad Kent. Wow. Does that hurt?
It really does. He just was too physical that time with Murray. He leaned in with his shoulder. He's strong. He's got to, absorb the blow a little bit more instead of leaning forward, and he picked up the body foul.
So he'll have to leave, and Dabney, who has 3 fouls, will check back in with 13:37 remaining.
Well, that is a big one because Kent, a major force down low.
Flores goes for the steal and gets it as he throws it off Rogers' foot and out of bounds.
All the players learned that one early on in the schoolyards where there's that out of bounds play and you throw it off the opponent's leg.
Quickly up the floor comes Jones. Changes in midair as he hangs and draws the foul. Chance for a 3-point play for Jones, who has 8 points.
Wow, we talked about Jones's athleticism. He really hasn't had a chance to display it much today. He's been closely guarded. Kama does his best there to slow him down, but great athletic move by Jones. And he shows you some strength at the end and body control with the finish.
Foul on Murray, his second. Providence now with 17 fouls. Jones to try to make it a 3-point play. Jones has scored double figures 20 times this year. Makes the 3-point play, and now Shabazz with 3 fouls will check back in for the Friars, replacing Maxey. And Mills with 3 fouls returns, replacing Rogers. And Jefferson is in, replacing Augustin.
And as you mentioned, Bob, it's the bonus now for Rutgers. Every time they're fouled, as Providence has got 17 fouls. Rutgers stays man in defense.
Mills. Left side, Jefferson. Back to Mills on the right. Puts it on the floor. Tries to go over Dabney, and up and under move.
Wow. Mills with some very sharp play today, and that was a great up and under that time with the finish.
He's got 11. Mills showing more confidence than we've seen him demonstrate all season. Jones with the pull-up over Shabazz. Tough shot by Dante Jones.
He's getting more involved, stepping up. He's been the go-to guy. Greer still very quiet, now on the bench for Rutgers with just a 3-pointer today.
Murray. Defended loosely by Salvi. It's a 6-point Providence lead. Mills starts to go on Billett. Kick out to Kama. Shot clock at 10. Mills is doubled. Tough pass. Jefferson loses it, but last touch by Rutgers with 6 on the shot clock. As we look at Welsh.
Wants a box. It's usually a 4-person box type setup. You can see it. 2 low posts, 2 high posts. You got to operate quickly.
Time running out on the shot clock. Jefferson throws it up, doesn't hit anything. If Billett hadn't rebounded, it would have been a shot clock violation.
Didn't look like Murray really knew how much time was on the clock that time.
Dabney, right side, Jones. Now back out to Billett. Inside the 12-minute mark. Billett. Right side, it's Salvi with the jumper. It's a bit out of Salvi's range, but he buries it.
Salvi really does provide a spark off the bench. He can shoot, he can defend inside and rebound. A nice player, real nice player for Rutgers.
Now the Providence Civic Center crowd trying to encourage the Friars. That 11-point lead is down to 4.
You can't relax. You got to stay and keep the pressure and the intensity up. Continue to attack.
Jefferson on the right, double dribble. So we have a timeout with 11:19 to go in the ball game. Abdul Mills has Providence up 4, but Dante Jones and the Scarlet Knights are knocking on the door. They were down 11. 11:19 to go. It's a 4-point game. Now let's take a look at the Beck's Beer game summary. Rutgers shooting 44% from the floor. Dante Jones with 11 points. Providence points in the paint, an 8-point advantage. There you see what Kareem Shabazz has done. As we mentioned, Ron, Rutgers will presumably get lots of opportunities from the free throw line down the stretch since Providence is over the limit. And Kevin Bannon's club with that 9-2 run in the last 240, just 5 of 10 from the line in the ball game.
They played some good defense over that stretch, and they're starting to fill it up with Jones at the other end.
And Jones draws foul number 4 on Shabazz.
Well, that's a nice penetration by Jones. And for Providence, Shabazz will have to sit again. Llewellyn Cole will get ready to check. And suddenly, with the pressure, Jones starting to really take charge in this game. And as a sophomore, Kevin Bannon looking for him to step up in these situations and try to take over. And Jones been very effective over this last run for Rutgers.
Jones was a member of the Big East All-Rookie team last year, as was his teammate Jeff Greer the year before that. You would certainly have to think that Todd Billett is a lock for the Big East All-Rookie team this year. Heck of a contest shaping up for the Big East Rookie of the Year, Ron, between a couple of youngsters from Minnesota, as Shabazz sits with 4 fouls. Troy Bell, the freshman at Boston College, and Darius Lane, the sophomore from Seton Hall.
They're both having great seasons. Bell, of course, leading the Eagles in scoring, and Darius Lane has just been really exciting out there at the 2 spot for Seton Hall. We made some big ones, didn't he, down the stretch of the Syracuse win?
He leads the Big East in 3-point field goals. The 2 of them have each won the Big East Rookie of the Week award 4 times. So you have to figure the award will come down to those 2.
Yeah, that's exactly the way it's shaping up. Rutgers stays man-to-man. Mills has got to continue to look to penetrate.
Mills inside to Cole, who shoots over Dabney, or at least tries to. Dabney blocks it. 4 seconds to shoot now for the Friars.
That was an awkward-looking set. Mills was almost on top of Cole when he gave it to him, and Cole seemed to shoot that as a bit of an afterthought.
Only Cole's 12th field goal attempt of the season. He sees playing time sparingly. This time the inbound pass goes off the hands of Mills and into the Providence bench.
See, these are the problems that Providence has had this year. They're very young, and they've tended to turn it over and go into offensive, stretches during games where they just don't get it done. The turnovers and the shooting, and right now they're in one of those stretches.
Remember when Rutgers had 8 turnovers to Providence's 1? Well, now they each have 10. On the left, Flores gets the high screen from Dabney, then inside Salvi, and the foul will be called on Cole. That's his first.
Fire fouls against Llewellyn Cole.
Nice penetration by Flores. Crowd wanted to walk on that one, but it was a good look inside as they really continue to get the ball done. I mean, split the defense. Nice job by Flores. And that's where you get the defense to help. You read the defense. People say, let the defense tell you what to do, as Salvi gets himself to the line.
What do you think of the Duke?
Letting it go today.
Huh? Well, what happened to the high socks look?
Freewheeling.
Earlier in the year, he had that high socks look going for him.
It used to be they were high back when I played, and if you wore them low, that was unusual. Now, if you pull them up, I'm pretty sure in a couple of years, they're back up all the way.
Well, we saw in our Sitco Do You Know Me feature, you saw a glimpse at what the players were wearing only 10 years ago. Chris Smith and UConn, and saw the tremendous difference in the shorts back then.
I look back at some of those old photos, and boy, they're looking like...
You want to burn them, right?
Yeah, those are looking kind of short.
Maxey down low. Little 2-man game with Mills, and Maxey fouled from behind by Salvi.
Rutgers fouls on Joel Salvi, his second.
2 fouls on Salvi and 4 on the Friars. The next Providence foul will mean Rutgers will shoot 2 on every foul the rest of the way. Pass in the lane to Cole, and the foul, and it's number 4 on Dabney. So how do you like that? Llewellyn Cole, who on the year has only scored 10 points, picks up a big pair, and maybe more importantly, draws that 4th foul on Dabney.
Cole played a lot of minutes last year. He just has not been able to find any time out on the floor this year. The left-hander with a nice move inside. The crowd responding with the phrase Lou for Llewellyn. And he's got a chance to finish off a 3-pointer. That was a big bucket for Providence. They'd really been stalled.
Now, let me correct myself. They called the foul from the other end on Flores, so that's his 3rd. So Dabney remains with 3. Inside Salvi, who is fouled by Cole. 2nd on Llewellyn. So everything from here on in now for Rutgers will be 2 shots, and they will have a wonderful opportunity to make up that 3-point deficit if they can make their free throw.
And Salvi's a pretty good free throw shooter at 70%. Providence has got to look to push it a bit more and be aggressive offensively. They tend to struggle more out of their half-court set.
Salvi was a perfect 5 for 5 from the line against Providence last month down in New Jersey, at 11 points and 6 rebounds in 23 minutes. As Ramil Augustin replaces Rogers for the Friars. Salvi spent the first 2 years of his collegiate career at Allegheny College. This is his 2nd and final year at Rutgers. So Mills will bring it up the floor. It's been an outstanding game for him. His point total matching his uniform number at 11.
The game's got a long way to go, but it's got to feel like it could go down to the wire here. Both clubs settling in to a bit of a seesaw battle right now.
Rashad Kent on the bench for Rutgers, and Kareem Shabazz for Providence, each with 4 fouls. And this could be away from the play. Bob Donato is going to get a call, and it's going to be on Providence. Cole with his 3rd, so it didn't take him long to pick up 3, did it?
Boy, that was an away from the ball one, too. Not a good foul for Providence.
And that means we'll walk all the way down the other end of the floor to shoot not only the 1-on-1, but shoot 2 free throws. Rutgers' only road win in the conference this year was against Boston College. That also is the Scarlet Knights' only win in its last 5 games. But in fairness to Kevin Bannon's club, Ron, it really has been murderer's row. Those 4 losses in the last 5 have come to St. John's, Georgetown, Miami, and Seton Hall. So they've played and lost to 3 of the top 5 teams in the Big East in the last 5 games.
St. John's was right down to the wire. The Seton Hall game was a very winnable game for Rutgers. So a tough stretch, and they've been right in the games.
Rutgers has never won 2 consecutive Big East road games since joining the league. Salvi ties the game at 49. Remember when Kent went out with his 4th foul and his club trailing by 9? Well, that was 4 minutes ago, and his club has made up 9 points with him on the bench, so figure that out.
There's not much logic to it, but Kent and Jones both on the bench for Rutgers, and they're hanging right in right now against the Friars.
Mills may have forced that one. The rebound run down by Flores. The game certainly with a momentum changer. Now Billett with a rare turnover taken away by Kama. Tries to dribble past Billett. Oh, Dabney says, not here. Kama gets it back, kick out to Murray, and let's see if they try to reset that offense.
Friars just standing, though, offensively. Even as Kama penetrated, it was almost as if his teammates were watching him, hoping he could beat his man. You've got to move and make yourself available away from the ball.
And now, this time, it looks like Dabney will get his 4th. Yep. So with 8:26 to go, Dabney picks up foul number 4. Jones and Renardo Brown return for Rutgers. Billett leaves. So does Flores. And now Kent with 4 fouls will come back in. So he spent 5 minutes and 11 seconds on the bench. And without him, his club outscored the Friars by 9. And there you see the foul trouble. Dabney and Kent with 4 each. For Rutgers, Shabazz with 4 for Providence. Murray shoots over Kent and buries it.
Done a nice job, as I said, off the bench. The left-hander's got a nice touch, and Providence really needed that one. Man-to-man by the Friars.
Murray had 16 points, which at that time was a career high against Rutgers last month. Jones starts to go, pulls up, front rims it, and there's Murray with the rebound. Knocked loose, gets it back.
Give it to a guard, though. Bring it up. Get rid of it. Took too long.
Salvi picks it off 3-on-2. And he has it knocked loose from behind, but Mills will be called for his 4th foul.
You've got a couple of examples there where you've got forwards bringing the ball up the floor. Get it to your backcourt people. The backcourt people have got to make themselves available and bring the ball up the floor. Otherwise, prone to the turnovers. Salvi caught a break right there.
So Mills will depart with 4 fouls following the first free throw attempt by Salvi, who is 5 for 6 from the foul line. Salvi has scored in double figures 10 times this year. He has only started twice. Normally plays about 30 minutes, although he comes off the bench. And now Mills will leave, replaced by Chris Rogers.
It's actually nice to have a guy like that, Bob. And a lot of times a player like Salvi will fall into that role where he can provide a real lift off the bench. And as a coach will often say, it's the guys I want on the floor at the end of the game sometimes a lot more important than who's out there at the very beginning.
You sound like you've been listening to Red Auerbach.
Oh, he said that a few times.
Yes, he has.
Always big on the 6th-man role.
So Rutgers trails by 1. The pass intended for Murray, and Kent is gone. Rashad Kent has fouled out with 7:40 to go.
Rutgers fouls on Rashad Kent.
Boy, that is a tough break for Kent as well as Rutgers. They're going to say with the body. I don't know if there was some cameo acting going along with it, but nevertheless, Kent has just fouled out. Wrong place, wrong time. He might have caught a bad break on that one.
So Kent fouls out. He didn't last very long, did he? Less than a minute after returning, after sitting for 4+ minutes with 4 fouls.
Quite often it works out that way. You pick up the foul difficulties. You try to get back into the flow of the game. In the first minute or two are really the critical times where you could foul because you're not in sync or in the flow of the game.
So Kevin Bannon doesn't have a whole lot of choices now, and he's going to go to his bench and bring in Kareem Wright, a 6'9" freshman from Mercersburg Academy in Lansdowne, Pennsylvania. He's appeared in only 10 games this year and has played 63 minutes, has scored 21 points. And there's Kareem, and he is going to get a chance to see some minutes down the stretch. Should be interesting to see how long he'll wait before he puts Dabney back in with his 4 fouls. Still lots of time left.
40 minutes right now for Wright to get in there and just bang the backboards.
You get the feeling Bannon wants to buy some few more minutes for Dabney with his club only down 1. He'd hate to bring him back in and then lose him. Then he'd be in big trouble.
Exactly. There's still 7 to go.
And as Greer starts to go, he draws the foul on Rogers. It doesn't matter whether it's an in the act of shooting foul or not. That wasn't, because Providence is in that double bonus. Rutgers will shoot 2 anyway.
I'm very surprised with Greer, who had such a productive freshman year. He's the 2nd leading scorer on the team at 12+ a game. He's been nearly invisible with the offense here tonight, as you see the free throws.
Billett will check back in for Rutgers.
Neither team really lighting it up from the line, and this is a critical area where you've got to get it done. You've got to be 70+% as a team, and both clubs have struggled from the line this year.
The irony is that Seton Hall's inability to make free throws on Wednesday night enabled Rutgers to overcome a 9-point deficit in the latter part of that game. Timeout, 7:14 remaining, and Rutgers is up 1.
Lake Mason, Bell Atlantic, and Bell.
For the first time since the 15-minute mark of the first half, Rutgers has the lead. We invite you to tune into your Big East Basketball Network on Sunday, February 20th at noon Eastern. You'll see once again Dante Jones and his Rutgers Scarlet Knights. They will visit Aaron Matthews and the Villanova Wildcats. That's Rutgers at Villanova, Sunday, February 20th at noon Eastern. Brought to you from ESPN Plus. Check your local listings. Rutgers on an 18-6 run in the last 7 minutes, erasing what had been an 11-point deficit at the 14:30 mark to go up by 1. But again, Kent has fouled out. Dabney remains on the bench with 4 fouls. For Providence, Mills and Shabazz remain on the bench with 4 fouls. Maxey misses, and it's been a very quiet second half for the senior from California.
Nice job by Rutgers to limit Providence to just 1 shot for most of this second half. That's been a key.
Maxey with 2 points in the second half. Greer, right sideline to Billett. Defended by Mark Jarrell Wright. Outside it's Jones. Drop step in the lane, draws the foul, and he'll shoot a couple of free throws. And let us take a look at some other scores brought to you by ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. And in South Bend, Notre Dame with 4 minutes to go has come from behind to take a 6-point lead over 12th ranked UConn. Remember, the Irish beat the Huskies in Hartford earlier in the season.
Got to believe it is just rocking on the Notre Dame campus for that game. Troy Murphy and company now have Connecticut on the ropes, and now that is a big one.
Well, that game has been a complete sellout for a couple of months. And Ron, you and I did the UConn-Boston College game the other night, and as you said that night, every game UConn plays on the road is the biggest home game for that team all season. And they've been all fired up in South Bend awaiting the arrival of the Huskies, but still 4 minutes to go.
On the one hand, it makes you play at your best, but you're also going up against a very fired up team and crowd every time you hit the road. Syracuse in the same boat.
Notre Dame 14-10 overall, 5-5 in the league. But if they beat UConn a second time today, and remember they beat Ohio State early in the season, those are a couple of those quality wins that the NCAA selection committee always talks about. Jones picks up his 3rd foul for Rutgers. 8th team foul for the Scarlet Knights.
Now the ability to convert from the line is going to be crucial down the stretch. 6:22 to go. Both teams will be going to the line.
That was only the 17th free throw attempt of the season for Mark Jarrell Wright. He's now made 12 of them. We mentioned it's been a quiet second half for Providence's best player, Aaron Maxey. He's just 1 of 6 from the floor since intermission. So the Rutgers lead is 1, and on the inbound they get tangled up, and a little bit of shoving there between Jarrell Wright and Billett.
They're going to call, I think, the foul, the reach on Maxey.
They will.
The whistles seem to come a little late here. Let's check it out. Now that's kind of a touch foul. He gets called for that one, I think, just more the look of the reach, and it seemed to come late. That's a break right there for Rutgers. Tim Walsh can't believe it. If you look like you're fouling, as Maxey did reach there, but it looked like a real touch job. But Billett, very tough from the stripe.
83% shooter from the line. 3 fouls on Maxey. Friars have lost 9 in a row, and Tim Welch says we have to grind our way through these tough times and develop some confidence.
That's exactly what's happening, and the only way to really finally get the confidence going is to get a W, and they badly need one.
Maxey gives to Jarrell Wright, puts it on the floor, stops, pops. Rebound deflected from Salvi to Jones. So Rutgers up 3 with the ball.
Providence really struggling now in this half-court set. They just can't seem to get out and run. They're going to have to generate a break or 2 off their defense.
Shabazz has returned with the 4 fouls. At the next stoppage, Mills will do likewise. Greer juggles, comes to Billett. Baseline Salvi shot clock is down to 10. Billett for 3. And look at the big fellow right with the rebound inside, and Shabazz fouls out with 5:34 to go. What a big play by the freshman Kareem Wright. Gets the offensive rebound and then draws Shabazz's 5th foul.
That is a big one with 5.5 to go. Shabazz gone for the game, and that is a big rebound. Even if he doesn't convert from the line, he's helped to get the big guy, Shabazz, out of the lineup for the Friars. Tough break for Providence.
Now Wright will go to the line, and talk about someone who has struggled. 9 for 22. 40.9%.
Well, Tim Welsh is in no great hurry. He's got time here before he brings in his substitution after that 5th personal.
And he's going to take advantage of that time. He points to David Murray. So Murray will replace Shabazz.
David Murray looking into the Friars.
The key on that is that Wright got such good position inside, able to draw the foul.
Mills returns with 4 fouls.
Boy, the foul is really mounted early in this second half for Providence, and it's causing some big problems for them right now.
So Shabazz is gone for Providence. Kent is gone for Rutgers. Dabney, the 6'11" center for Rutgers, remains on the bench with 4 fouls. Now, I think here's the deal now. Mills can't check in until after the first free throw. That was the new rule that went into effect, was it last season, wasn't it?
That's
Where
right.
on
That's
2
right.
shots from the line, and if there's someone waiting to substitute, you wait until after the first shot. I think in the confusion, Mills saw Murray come in, and he figured, well, it was okay for me to go in too, but Murray had to go in because
Not going to make
Shabazz fouled out.
Not going to make much of a difference, frankly. You know, he's got 2 shots. He's come in after the first one. Anytime I see a big guy with that mouthpiece in there, I always knew that meant they meant business inside.
Does that mean you're a little bit afraid to drive on a guy like that?
Yeah, a couple of my teammates used to throw those in. I said, all right, we're going to battle now. Either that, and one of the guys told me he's about 6'8", 240. My mom says, I've got to put this thing in and protect my teeth. They've had a lot of dental work done. I said, sure. Get in there and bang around underneath.
So right back at the line.
Makes them both big ones.
And now we're going to get a timeout with 5:32 to go. We mentioned the Seton Hall Rutgers game Wednesday night at the Rack. A wild one it was. 30 seconds left in regulation. Rutgers down 3. Jeff Greer 3 ties it. Now Rutgers gets the ball back with 2 seconds left. Watch the Kent inbound pass. Oops. Shaheen Holloway for the win at the buzzer. Are you kidding me? Then in overtime, Salvi free throw. Rutgers scores the first 8 points in overtime. Key play of the game. Rutgers up 3. The ball is going out of bounds. Rashad Kent tries to save, calls timeout, but they don't have any timeouts. Technical foul. Seton Hall makes the 2 free throws, gets the ball back and scores. Now Rutgers down 2. Luis Flores for the win at the buzzer. Can't get it to go. And Rutgers loses an absolute heartbreaker, and they've lost just a few of them.
That is a tough one. You can see Kevin Bannon, 7 games by 6 or fewer points. A lot of tough ones, 0-2 in overtime, and that's a real backbreaker, and that's why, from Kevin Bannon's perspective, crucial that they come back and win today. They've shown a lot of guts getting back into this one, and right now they've got Providence on the ropes down in this game.
Augustin will shoot over right, no good. Rebound, Kama inside, head fake, tipped up and in by Maxey.
That was close to being on the cylinder, but he just tips it home.
Big play by Maxey. He's got a dozen, only 4 this half. Rutgers lead down to 3. Salvi, right side pull up.
Salvi's done a great job out there for Rutgers. He can hit that medium range jumper.
He's got a dozen off the bench. The field goal shooting story in the ball game, as you can see, Providence 47% first half, only 35% this half.
It's more half-court set offense, Bob. This is where they really struggle. They had more break opportunities and penetrations in the first half. They struggle when they're in the half-court set. Not enough penetrating right now.
Shot clock inside 10. Maxey puts it on the floor. Murray from the top of the circle. It's a 2. Murray has come off the bench to score 8.
Well, he's showing a nice touch. That could be a big lift for Providence. He can shoot that ball comfortably from 12 to 15.
The lead down to 3. Kama deflects the Billett pass, but Billett gets it right back. Billett defended by the much taller Maxey on this switch. I think it's a switch.
Billett's done a nice job at the point guard slot under a lot of pressure today.
On the left. Shot clock at 10. Salvi, they tried the backdoor cut. It wasn't available. Shot clock inside 5. Jones with the pull-up. Gets his own rebound and a fresh shot clock. And he puts it up with the right hand. Missed again. Rebound Augustin. Foul Jones. His 4th.
Boy, that was a golden opportunity. I thought when Jones got his own rebound, he'd pop right back up, but he delayed just long enough to allow Providence to get back in there defensively. That is a big exchange in Providence's favor.
Well, you know, there's a lot of time left. You might think, well, why did Jones bring it back outside? They got the fresh 35. He didn't have to shoot. But there's probably too early to be thinking in those terms. Don't you think? You get the ball in the lane, go up with it.
Yeah,
might get fouled.
Your instincts take over. And he's right in the lane. I thought it was a good shot. I just thought he didn't go up quickly enough, and the defense recovered.
So Ramil Augustin, who went to Raylan High School in Ohio, makes his home in Montreal. Misses the front end of the 1-on-1, but Jamal Kama with the rebound, and Providence with another opportunity. Down 3, 3:30 to go.
Both clubs getting a lot of chances in this one to do some productive things. See if Providence can capitalize now.
Dabney back in with 4 fouls for the Knights.
Almost thought that pass was going to sail out of bounds.
Kama spins on Greer. Backdoor cut to Maxey. Can't get it to go. The crowd wanted a charge.
I thought there was something on it, either a charge or a blocking foul. There's a lot of contact.
If it were a blocking foul, it would have been Dabney's 5th. Dillon chased by Mills. Remember, he has 4 fouls. Can't worry about that at this point, though. Less than 3 minutes.
There's still a lot of time left to go. You have to continue to be aggressive, but be good with the ball. This is critical now, where you don't turn it over and get good looks each time.
Shot clock inside 10. Salvi gives to Dillon. He's doubled. Maxey knocks it loose. What do we have? Held ball possession arrow toward the Friars. And we'll get a timeout. We've got a great one going. 2:38 to go. Rutgers leads by 3. Ron Picozzi and Ron Perry back at the Providence Civic Center. Your game reset. Rutgers with 4 timeouts left, 3 for Providence. The next foul by Rutgers will mean that Providence shoots 2, and Rutgers already will shoot 2 on everything. And the possession arrow is pointed toward Rutgers. It's a 3-point Rutgers lead.
And the 3-point shot hasn't been a big factor. Both teams just trying to grind it out.
Murray misses the shot. Rebound by Salvi.
Every possession obviously critical right now. Going to try to make the most of it. Pretty good look by Providence, though.
Kent has fouled out for Rutgers. Shabazz has fouled out for Providence. Dabney on the floor with 4 fouls for Rutgers. Abdul Mills on the floor with 4 fouls for Providence. And timeout called by Kevin Bannon. Dante Jones also with 4 fouls for the Scarlet Knights. And as we mentioned earlier, Rutgers has really struggled in the close games, 3 and 7 in games decided by 6 or fewer points. To get information on your favorite Big East team, go online at www.bigeast.org for all the basketball and conference news from around the Big East.
That was a good timeout by Kevin Bannon. I think he looked out there, and as you said, his team has struggled in close games there. They're young, and I think he just said, hey, 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Timeout, side out of bounds play. He's going to diagram a play. I've got to believe he's going to want Jones involved with this thing offensively. It's a critical possession. He wants to make the most of it. The key right now is just getting the ball inbounds against pressure.
15 seconds left on the shot clock. If Rutgers wins today, it would be only the 3rd time since joining the Big East 5 years ago that the Scarlet Knights swept a season series from a Big East opponent. They've won 4 straight from Providence, and that is the longest winning streak for Rutgers against any Big East opponent. Greer to inbound on the side. Comes to Billett, defended by Mills. Shot clock now at 10. Everybody sets up high. They tried the backdoor cut to Greer, but defended well by Providence. Salvi spins, shoots, and hits.
Boy, he's played big today for Rutgers.
He's got 14 points. It's a 5-point Rutgers lead with 1:44 to go. Providence led by as many as 11.
That's making the most of it, and it's a 2-possession game right now. Friars down 5.
Kama drives baseline, rejected. Dabney and Salvi were both there.
Providence really needs a stop right now. A lot of contact there, no call, but Providence is going to bear down with 1:20 to go.
And when it gets to the point where you have to foul, the guy you don't want to foul is Billy.
That's right.
The guy you want to foul is on the bench. Fouled out. Kent. Dabney, kick out. Billet. Salvi from the right. Oh, that's a killer. That's a three.
Huge effort by Salvi in this second half.
He's got 15 of his 17 points this half. Down low, it's Murray, and Dabney will foul out with 54 seconds left, but his club up 8.
Salvi off the bench. The last 2 possessions, he's made a foul line jumper and then a 3 from the right corner. Huge baskets.
Kevin Bannon summons his troops. The rules provide for him to have an opportunity before he makes the substitutions when a player fouls out, and he'll take advantage of that. Let's take a look at our best play of the game. It's brought to you by Advance Auto Parts, where the best part is our people. And it's Joel Salvi with a critical 3 from the right.
Nice reversal of the basketball, and you just move it fast enough the defense can't recover. And Salvi with that shot puts Rutgers up 8, under a minute to go, and last 2 possessions he has been key. He's 4 out of 4 this half, 6 of 8 from the line. That's 17 in the game, and that's what you call a major lift off the bench.
So at the free throw line will go David Murray. He has scored 8 points off the bench. Perfect 4 for 4 from the line.
Providence has got timeouts left, so a lot can happen with 54 seconds. They've got to score, they've got to put pressure on, and look for them to start reaching defensively.
So it's a 6-point game with 54 seconds. So Ron, do you foul here? Do you go for the steal, and if you don't get it, then you foul? What do you do if you're Providence?
I would reach right away. The biggest mistake if you don't get a steal is to let 20 seconds tick off and then do it.
Well, you don't want to foul this guy. He's an 83% shooter. Foul this guy.
There it is.
Anybody but Billy.
Yeah,
that should be the strategy.
Yeah, so obviously Tim Welsh had gone over that, which was good. Kevin Bannon now talking about moving the ball up the floor. And for Rutgers, they're going to have a chance to win this game from the foul line if they can convert.
Foul on Maxey is his 4th. So Luis Flores will go to the line. Flores on the year is a 69.2% shooter. His first attempt of the afternoon. He's 18 of 26 for the season. Makes the first. 6'2" freshman out of Norman Thomas High School in Washington Heights, New York.
Timeout Providence.
Timeout Providence with 47 seconds left, and Rutgers up by 7. Let's once again take a look at some other scores brought to you by ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, and they're dancing in the streets in South Bend, where Notre Dame has defeated 12th-ranked UConn 68-66 for its 2nd win over the Huskies this year.
Big job by the Irish at home, getting it done again. You can just imagine the finish in that one, Bob, tightening up, and the tempo of that game looks like, a game that plays in the 60s. Connecticut not able to get out and run, and I'm sure Troy Murphy, who had a huge game at Hartford, stepped up again for the Irish. Big win.
Well, when the Joyce Center is full, and there's always a very large student presence there, that place rocks as well as any place in the Big East.
No question about it. Great home court setting for the Irish.
So Notre Dame now 6-5 in the Big East, 15-10 overall, but with 3 wins against teams that played in the Final Four last year. It's all ahead of them. Second free throw by Flores, no good. Providence down 7 with the ball. They'll have to hurry, and that's just what they needed to avoid. Greer with the steal. He's fouled by Murray, and Greer will go to the free throw line, and some of the fans start filing out of the Providence Civic Center.
Just crucial. You're down 7. Got to come up the court and get a good look. And again, maybe that fake and then a bounce pass, but a great steal. An opportunity here for Rutgers to put this one away.
Greer makes the first. Now Mark Jarrell Wright will come in for Providence. They need perimeter shooters. Their only realistic chance to come back in this one is to hit the threes. So Murray will sit down. Greer misses the second. Quickly, Providence inside Kama. Reverse layup, no good. Rebound, Flores taken away by Kama. Maxey, while falling down, can't get it to go. They're wasting valuable time. Augustin fouled from behind by Flores, who really hits the deck hard. And a few words exchanged between Augustin and the Scarlet Knights with 22 seconds left and Rutgers leading by 8.
It's a pretty aggressive foul inside, as you can see Salvi's numbers, huh? He's right there in your picture on the left, and he scored 15 of his 17 in the second half. Providence was up by 5 at the half. He gets the game ball for Rutgers. That was an aggressive foul.
Augustin will shoot a couple. Providence won its Big East opener against Georgetown. That was back on January 5th here at the Civic Center. And since then, the Friars have lost to Boston College, Rutgers, Villanova, West Virginia, UConn, West Virginia again, Seton Hall, Syracuse, St. John's. And Tim Welsh's club will visit Miami on Wednesday, and you could argue that Miami's the hottest team in the league.
Doesn't get any easier, and Tim Welsh's club has been playing tough, but they're unable to get over the hump right now. Good pressure by the Friars.
Got a foul.
Yeah, they're letting the clock just tick down right here. Now you get a reach, and you've let 15 to 20 seconds. The shot clock at 11, Bob. 24 seconds tick off. That's not good clock work at all.
So Rutgers is going to get out of here with its second Big East road win of the season, and its second win of the season against Providence.
And it's been a tough one. This is, as you said, another road win for Rutgers. They've been tough to come by. But from Rutgers' perspective, we wondered at the beginning of the game, could they bounce back after that tough loss at home? They've done that in comeback fashion, which will go a long way for them. And for Providence, their frustrations continue. They've just got to continue to work their way out of it.
Billet as close to automatic as one can get. Foul line. Wright misses the long three. Rebound, Salvi ahead to Greer with the exclamation point. It won't count. It will not count. But Rutgers wins it by a score of 69-60, Ron.
Well, nice comeback win for Rutgers on the road. They had a great effort by Salvi for Providence. Close, but couldn't quite get it done at home today.
So Rutgers 13-10 overall, 5-6 in the Big East. Providence drops to 8-16, 1-10 in the Big East. Once again, the final, Rutgers 69, Providence 60. For Ron Perry, I'm Bob Picozzi. Thanks so much for joining us, and we bid farewell from the Civic Center in Providence, Rhode Island.